everybody.
Hi, Jeff and
Steph's.
Yes, excellent. This is a bug out prepping food storage video.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Good.
all this in one. It's pretty exciting. Look behind us.
Pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is a video we've been planning on doing for a while, but
Yeah.
we've been thinking about it a lot and doing a lot of research and make sure we get our facts, 80% correct? So everybody doesn't
We
chew us
hope
out on
so.
the comments. But,
yeah, no, for sure. This is something Jeff and I actually started about 5 or 6 years ago when we were still back in our sticks and bricks house. And we thought it was important, having kids and such in a house, making sure we were prepared for the unknown.
No. This isn't about zombie apocalypses or, stuff
It
like
could
that.
be if you're into that.
And we do love those movies for sure. I always seek them out. But we're thinking more about, okay, here we are in an RV, self-contained. And before we get into that part, let's just say that we're in our RV and our truck is full of diesel or gas if you have a gas engine. Our water tank is full, our propane's full.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Best case scenario.
we're self-contained at that point.
Yes.
With battery power, some solar, generator, we're prepared to be our self-entity, per se. So now, an SHTF, which is hits the fan.
Scenario.
Um,
Something goes real wrong.
something goes really
that
wrong.
That could be many different things.
Well,
like
pandemics. Okay.
global pandemics.
And we know, everybody knows now about the pandemics.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I think we shouldn't kid ourselves. It's probably going to be another 1 or 3 or 5.
Yeah, and it could shut down food chains, water supplies, etc. for extended periods of time.
Well,
And
remember the toilet paper thing?
Yeah, toilet
right?
paper apocalypse.
Paper towels.
Yeah.
I remember going to the grocery store and I bought one package of 6 paper towels, and I wanted 2. They said,
Yeah.
you can't have 2.
Yeah, you can.
It's so silly. But anyway,
So,
the
yeah.
other things we worry about, and again, not a zombie apocalypse, but martial law. And if you're not familiar with martial law, Google it, because basically the government takes over and tells you what you can and can't do. Of course, war, and it's a dangerous world, and war is maybe imminent, maybe it's not. Maybe it's a lot of saber rattling. We don't really know for sure. And here's the interesting thing, and this is kind of the thing for me that I always prepped for. EMPs. And an EMP is an electromagnetic pulse, which is a solar flare basically coming off the sun. It can also be done with nuclear weapons exploded up above in the upper atmosphere. But there was a famous EMP in 1859. It's known as the Carrington event. And it's a really interesting event that happened in the whole world. Try to read that if you get a chance. Just Google Carrington event. It'll tell you all about that. The gist of it is there was a solar flare, and in 1859 there wasn't a lot of electronic devices,
Right.
and the EMP, although it's fairly strong, it hit like the telegraphs and the telegraph operators. Remember that back? The telegraph operators got burnt. There was fires. There was all kinds of events that ruined that whole system.
Huge deal. Yes.
Now we skip ahead.
All
175
this lovely
years.
technology we have gone.
Car, as in transistors,
Yes.
anything that is electronic, you could be in big trouble with an EMP. So that's the reason we decided to prep.
Yes.
And when there's I grew up in the East Coast, and as soon as it started snowing, and I don't know why, people would go to the grocery store, they'd get milk and bread.
Yeah. It's like a mass
You gotta get milk and bread.
to the grocery stores. Everyone has to go right now.
Yeah. Or they buy
Yeah.
a generator.
Yeah.
So anyway, I never quite understood those things, because to me, you always don't want to go to the grocery store when there's going to be something like that.
Right.
And this is the same thing with an SHTF
SHTF
situation, and you can't leave.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you're supplied with everything.
Yeah, this is about an extended period of self-sufficiency, meaning that you have to fend for yourself. And you can't just run to a grocery store, or, like, food is not readily available to you. What are you going to do in that situation?
Right.
And so we've read so much about this and decided what we need to do for ourselves if one of these things occur.
Now,
And like some food facts.
I do actually know some food facts, and if you go through, and this can be the same in a house, but we're RVers, so we're more aimed at that. If you look in your cabinets and your storage and see what you have, there's some food there. We have some food in our cabinets and so forth. So
not more than a week or two's worth.
Maybe 2 weeks worth. Yeah. So some facts we pulled up on a couple of government websites. We know how honest they are. Basically says that the average person can live 3 days without water. Now you hear about people that crawl through the desert, or they're in the woods for 3 weeks and they somehow survive. Severe dehydration. Okay, so there's that. The other fact that's very interesting is with no food, the average person. That means some people will live
more
this
or
one,
less. Yes.
right? So the average person will live 21 days with no food, and it's going to be a slow, painful death,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
As we know, it's going to be a slow, painful death. So it's believed that vast amounts of the population, large amounts of the population, will die, as awful as that sounds, in 30 days.
Yeah, they will not make it past the 30-day mark. And that's key in prepping, is to make sure that you have enough to get yourself past these obstacles or these timelines or time frames. They say, again,
they're basically saying order will be restored,
whether that's true or not, but
somewhere in the 60 to 90 day range. So if you don't have enough food and you're going to die in 1 month, and if you can make it to that point, and our goal is, because we're an RV and we can't hold huge amounts of excess stuff because of weight, we want to be able to kick it out to maybe 3 to 6 months. And there's going to be some other people we're going to have to help too, because the idea of having extra is to help other people around you, so they don't just come in and maybe grab it. So
we have planned for 6 months worth what we have on hand, and that happened because when we started prepping, we were a family of 4 in a house, and so we were making sure there was enough for 4 people for an extended amount of time because of the kids being home. So now we've taken that with us, and so we've added along the way, and we have some small things we pick up here and there that we say, oh, that might be good. But this is what we carry on board with us currently.
And we'll kind of look at this a little closer in a minute, but basically what you have is high calorie food, energy food.
Yes, energy food that can sustain you and keep you going, and to do what you need to do.
But you still need vegetables, fruits, proteins.
Yes.
Just so, for instance, without fruits, you're going to end up with scurvy, which a lot of the old sailors had in the old days coming across, because they didn't know. They just eat a couple of lemons, they'd be all set, So
we have quite a variety.
We have a variety.
Food. Yeah, there's fruits, vegetables, there's starches and grains. There's things like dehydrated meats, cereals, eggs, gravy. So there's a couple different brands, and we found that we really like the Augustin Farms. It was easy to get and readily available, and the Essentials brand. So they have a lot of variety, and anything almost that you need as a staple for cooking a meal or putting together a meal, baking. I mean, we have a bucket or a container of brownie mix, because life is rough, and a brownie once in a while might be a special treat. So
now, as far as we know, there's no freeze-dried beer, right?
No freeze. Would that be nice? You could just add a little.
So long-term food storage, aka freeze-dried food, basically originates from military MREs.
Yes.
Meals ready to eat.
Yeah,
MRE.
and we thought that meant like military rations or something, but it actually stands for meals ready to eat.
Meals
so
ready
that
to eat.
was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I thought the M was always military
Yeah,
something.
and
Military
you always
really
hear
want
about
to eat.
MREs, you know,
Yeah.
and people even take these backpacking and out with them when they're going to be out extended time frames in the woods and stuff because they're easy. All you need is water.
Right, and the thing with freeze-dried food is, like you said, you just have to add water. Being freeze-dried is very light.
Yes.
So we're
the
not
weights.
adding a lot of weight here
All
to
this,
our RV.
Yeah, not much weight at all.
Not much weight at all.
Yeah,
it's
it
more of
looks like-
finding room to put stuff,
Yeah, it
which with a
does.
fifth wheel you can find room, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're kind of maxed out with what we feel comfortable, what we got here. So
And the other beauty of these foods is they have extended shelf lives.
30 to 35 years.
30 to 35 years. So here we have like cans, and they're like a coffee can where you have the metal, you know, they're sealed, you pull it up. And here we have buckets sealed with containers inside that are sealed. So it's packaged really well. And I think that it will withstand a lot as far as being in an RV. You know, like we throw these underneath in the garage and, you know, they do just fine.
Yeah.
So the packaging's great. The second reason we found these two brands was price.
And
Oh, where you can buy them too.
Walmart.
Yeah. Okay. So Walmart does carry the Augustin Farms and the Essential brand, which is where we originally started picking them up. They do sell them on Amazon. They tend to be $1 or $2 more a container, and they have their own websites, both of them, so you can buy directly on
and there's
their
other
website.
companies. There's other
for
companies.
sure. But we found these originally at Walmart, and they kind of had their own little secret hiding place between sporting goods and like camping.
And Stephanie found out actually that if the Walmart is in kind of a camping location,
Yeah.
they always have this stuff.
Yeah, a high
They might not
camping
have
demand.
it at Walmart in New York City, but
Right.
you know, there's and
If
it's
you're
kind of
out
fun to look
somewhere,
for.
yeah.
You know, because you can pick
We
out
always go and
what
look
you
and
want.
see what do they have. Maybe we should add something to this.
Yeah.
So the cans range in price. Like the least expensive I saw was just over $10 for this can, which the cans are approximately, they vary. They're between 1 and 2 pounds, it looks like, for most of the cans. They range from just over $10, and some of the more specialty ones, like I'm not sure why this is a thing, but broccoli florets is like $24 a can. So I guess
people love broccoli.
I guess it's harder
Yeah.
maybe to freeze dry or it crumbles or something.
I think
don't know.
certain things are hard to, you know, freeze
Yes.
dry the
Yeah.
process, right? Because if you think of like oats and beans and stuff
Yeah,
like that,
those are
stuff's
simple.
easy. You know,
Yeah.
that stuff's the cheaper stuff.
So I
Sorry,
even
go
saw
ahead.
the makings. They have a can that has the makings for black bean burgers. And I was like, oh, those look amazing. So they have just about everything. They have cans of butter that are dehydrated butter that you can add water to and use it for baking or on breads or whatever. They have bread mixes. They have gravies. I mean, just about
Pancake
anything.
mixes is really handy.
Yeah, there's lots of freeze-dried meats such as chicken, bacon, beef, you know, whatever you might need for recipe preparation. There's mac and cheeses, there's pastas, there's so much. So don't be afraid to pick up some of these. Like on your weekly trip, you don't have to go in and spend $500 and stock your entire pantry. Maybe
Because $500 is the average grocery bill nowadays, right?
right?
So
Yeah,
what we did was
pick up like 1 can
Yeah,
a week
yeah.
and just extra and just have it on hand. You know, there's everything. These buckets are a bit more. The cheapest ones I saw were about $45, and they went all the way up to almost $90. So it depends on what's in your bucket and, you know, how much you're getting. Those run more, but it's a big amount of food in there. It should last
For
you
sure.
a long time.
Yeah.
So that's why you pay more. But they also have complete meal kit buckets in this large size, where they have one called a breakfast bucket or a lunch bucket or a dinner, and they have complete meal kits in there, such as the breakfast has like
Is it
pancake
30
mix,
30 meals,
berries,
basically?
yeah,
Yeah.
eggs, oatmeal. I mean, it has enough that everyone can have their own choice of what they want to eat. And, you know, it's all just, the only thing needed is water.
And my guess is that obviously you might want to use a little spice on some of this stuff,
Yeah,
right?
have salt
But,
and pepper on hand, a little paprika if you're Jeff.
I think it's gonna,
Garlic.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be delicious if you're hungry, right?
Yeah, right.
Give me some of those powder eggs.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
going to hit those hard, yeah.
So these are well reviewed, and people say they actually taste really good, and they've used them for camping and like school trips and stuff. They'll have the kids prepare meals out of this when
And
they're
like
out.
you're saying, backpackers, it's very common with backpackers
yes.
to take freeze-dried with them.
Yeah, so don't be afraid to pick up a can here or there, and just be prepared. You'll have this big stock before you know it.
And the nice thing is, maybe we never need this stuff. I hope we never need it, you know? But it's there, and we don't have to worry about, do we have food when we're sitting there somewhere, maybe in a campground, or maybe we're boondocking. Word comes out that, you know, you cannot leave, you can't do anything, or even worse, you know, you already know how bad it is, so you just staying put. So can you bug out in an RV? Maybe. To me, the bug out scenario isn't really going to work good, because to me, everybody's going to be on the roads and they're going to be all clogged up. And you're not going to get anywhere. Now, depending on what part of the country you're in, and right now we're in Southern California, there is inroads to get out into the desert if we wanted to.
Right, to go outward, away from civilizations and towns and stuff, if you had to go out in desert or something.
But we don't kid ourselves. We know we're not just going to load up and say, oh, we're out of here, we've got our RV, you know, because that's not realistic. But if we are just sitting somewhere, there's martial law, there's a pandemic, something's going on, we can't leave, we know we're not going to starve to death for 3 to 6 months.
Yes. And the second part of that is all of this here yum and fun takes water.
Yeah, water is pretty critical.
Yes. So we are huge fans of the Berkey water filtration system. And we have studied this. So we have like a spiel on this. We can sell it to anybody. We've talked so many people into using the system, and they say it's amazing. We have friends.
And we were the people that didn't want one.
Yeah, we were like, we don't need a Berkey.
We don't want a Berkey.
Yeah, we don't need that much water. But we have been using it now for over a year. It filters everything horrible out of water, as
pathogens, metals, bacteria,
herbicides.
Yeah, you name it.
Yeah, like medications, allergens, anything that's bad in your drinking water. It even takes the fluoride out and the arsenic.
Arsenic, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it makes good tasting water, clear, good tasting water. They said your water is guaranteed and should not have any taste or smell. So that's a big deal. I mean,
and again, like we always say, you can dump swamp water in that.
Yes.
And it will filter.
You're going to get this clear, clean
swamp water.
Yes.
And when you think about that, there's a huge advantage to filtering water versus boiling it. Because if you're going to boil it, you're going to use a bunch of propane, because you're going to constantly have to boil your drinking water. Whereas with this, we can just dump it, drink it.
You do have the option of boiling, but we figured if we were out somewhere and, you know, we were stuck in our RV and we needed water, we could always use the water in our tank and filter it through the Berkey and make it drinkable for us and the dogs.
Right. And on top of that, we have a water bladder, a 60-gallon water bladder, and an extra water pump. And we're getting a little off track here, but you're going to need water.
Yeah, we figured if we couldn't move the fifth wheel or get to water, if we could take the truck, we have the water bladder with us with the additional pump to fill up our tank with it. We could take the 60-gallon water bladder somewhere, fill up with water, and bring it back to our location.
So go get water with guns a-blazing. Coming through!
So, yeah, we thought about this in different scenarios that could come up where, you know, this would be needed. We do also have one other thing to filter water, And we also have life straws.
Oh, life straws are the bomb diggity.
And if you don't know about these, check these out.
Google them.
Yeah, we had them packed away in our like survival kits, and I wasn't able to get them out for the video at this time.
Bug out bag.
Yeah, but I just want you to know we have those. We have some that filter like 2,000 gallons. I can't even remember how many gallons of water.
I think it's more like 200, isn't it?
I don't remember.
It's a lot of water.
But you can literally drink through the straw in a lake or stream, and it takes out any harmful bacteria or anything that would make you sick.
And Stephanie tried this out in the toilet, and she said it does work. So.
No, gross. So it's essentially like a Berkey in the straw form.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's something good to have. And we have those in our bug out / hiking backpacks along with other stuff like water purification tablets and things like that. But,
we'll do a future video on a bug out bag, because a lot of people have heard about them. Some people talked about them. Everybody has a little bit different interpretation of what a bug out bag is and what it should contain. So in a future video, we should definitely talk about the bug out bag.
Yeah.
As well as weapons if you think they're necessary or not.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
It's a personal decision for a lot of people, you know.
We have done a previous video on alternative, like electrical sources or power sources.
Yeah.
We did one last spring or summer when we were in Texas, and
it's all a blur.
Yeah, right. It goes so fast. And we talked about like our use of our generator, our jackery, our solar chargers, and things.
General
for
battery capacity.
Yeah, our lithium battery information. So, you know, there are alternative sources for that too. There's so much involved in this prepping. There's
many layers of it.
Yes, for sure. And we will handle it in different videos. And if you have any questions, let us know. Again, this is kind of like a fun / passion of ours, is to always be prepared.
Right. And I'm thinking like maybe next of this little series, I guess we're doing here is we'll talk about pets, what they may require, medical supplies, self-defense. Anything else we can add to that?
Maybe the bug out bag.
Maybe the bug out bag.
We'll see what we can put together for you.
And maybe things just to keep you occupied when, you know, when you may be sitting for a long time.
Are you talking about cornhole?
I wasn't going there, but
you know, let me a game of some cornhole.
Are we gonna trapped inside playing cornhole? I was thinking more about cards, but maybe a book.
Basketball.
Yeah, those things aren't gonna work.
Yeah. So we'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. And we'll do a little. Steffi will just do a little close up of what we got here, and just so you guys can all kind of take a look. And you know, again, it's about your major food groups, which is beer, ice cream, no, fruits, vegetables, meat, protein. Is there another one? Dairy, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll talk, or you can show them a little close up with the camera.
I'll give you a little scan of
what
what
we're
we
talking
have.
about. Yeah.
And you will notice probably we don't have like bacon and beef and stuff because we don't eat red meat or pork in our house, but we do have chicken, freeze-dried chicken, and chicken gravies and stuff. So I'll go and show you all this.
And we do have the salmon skin liver treats for the dogs, which
dehydrated.
I accidentally ate a bag of those, and
yeah, they're like those.
It's like snake skin.
They're like those pork rind things people eat, but they're salmon skins for dogs. I feed them to Jeff sometimes.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I liked them. So.
So, thanks for watching, guys. We hope this video has been helpful for you. And, you know, we're always here with questions. If you have questions or, you know, we'll try to help up as much as we can with this.
Roger that.
And we are not sponsored by any of these foods or Berkey or Life Straw. These are personal things that we use, that we believe in, and products we stand behind.
And there's a number of companies that do this. And the reason, you know, 30, 35 years, it was available at Walmart.
Yes.
That was good enough for us.
Price was good.
Price was good.
It was easy to get and obtain. So, Yeah, you can find there's so many of these different foods and MRE style things that, just pick what you like and go with it.
Right.
Thanks for watching.
Jeff.
And Steph's excellent
Prepping.
Survival.
And
Video.
adventure. See you guys soon.
Bye.
See ya.